Well, it's upon us. Election 2024 is here. And what is going to happen in the election? What might happen to the stock market and your investments? And we're going to talk about that in this video right now. Hey friends, Adam Hammer here, Chief Investment Officer at Hammer Financial Group in beautiful Buffalo, New York, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. All right, now, Paul and I have fielded a lot of questions. What's going to happen if Kamala Harris wins? What's going to happen if Donald Trump wins? Will the market go up? Will it crash? So forth and so on. And I'm going to hit you over the head right now with a big statement, which is that longer term, the market really doesn't care who wins all that much. Now, I know some people say, well, that can't be true because I remember when George Bush was president, the market collapsed. Or I remember a couple of years ago in 2022, Joe Biden is president, the market went down. And I don't disagree that who the president is important. But if you look at the longer term trends of the market, historically, it doesn't really seem to matter all that much. So I'm going to share with you my screen here, and we'll take a look at a couple of interesting graphs that I think you'll find interesting. So first off, you take a look at your screen here. This top graph, this is what's known as GDP, economic growth. Our business is expanding, people spending money. The blue lines are Democratic control. The red lines are Republican control. And the gray lines are when we have divided government. And you can see that for the most part, the economy is always growing, right? These bars are above the line. And if you take a look at this little chart up in the right-hand corner here, you can see on average, when there's full Republican control in Washington, about 2.8% on average economic growth. Democrats a little bit higher at 4%. And when we have divided government, 2.7. So all within a pretty close range, that whether it's full Republican control, full Democratic control, divided government, the economy, U.S. economy remains resilient and on average is moving higher. Let's take a look at the second part of this chart here, which is the S&P 500. This is the U.S. stock market. Again, initial look at the graph, you can see that for the most part, the bars are above the line, indicating a positive return. The red bars are full Republican control, the blue bars are full Democratic control, and the gray lines are divided government. And here, once again, we can see the market generally is higher. Republicans on average about 13%, when full Republican control, Democrat about 9.3 and divided 8.3. So again, a little bit of differences there, but the market, longer term, going all the way back to the late 1940s, tends to move higher. And so I think that that can perhaps give you a sign of a deep breath that the market overall tends to move higher, regardless of who the president is. Now, with that said, why don't we get into the question that I started with, which is, okay, well, that's great, but shorter term, what's going to happen? What happens if Kamala Harris wins or Donald Trump wins? Well, if Donald Trump wins, then shorter term, you would probably expect to see that energy and oil companies do a little bit better than they have been. The Trump administration would want to deregulate that industry. On the flip side, if you see Kamala Harris wins, you probably see pharmaceutical companies and renewable energy companies do a little bit better, since a Harris administration would probably put forth policies that are more conducive to those companies being more profitable. But probably the biggest thing is that in Washington in 2025, there's the issue of taxes. I won't get into all the details of that, but tax rates are in theory going to expire soon. And if there's not a change, then taxes could move higher. A new Trump administration would want to lock in those lower rates. A new Harris administration might want to raise rates for certain taxpayers. So that'll be one of the big things to keep an eye on in 2025 in Washington, based on who ends up being president. So the key takeaway is longer term GDP, the stock market tends to move higher, whomever the president is. And whether that makes you feel better or not, I guess that's up to you. if we can ever be of service and provide more information, just go to our website, www.paulhammerfinancial.com. You'll see a picture of beautiful Ocean Beach, and just click this red or pink Contact Us button. And if you click that red Contact Us button, it brings you to this easy fill out page. Send us a message, submit, and Paul and I will be in touch with you very shortly. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found this of interest. We'll see what happens next Tuesday. And go USA. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.